Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome back to my channel. Um, Today I've just kind of slicked my hair back and put a bit of hairspray in with it. I just want to wash it tomorrow as opposed to today, as two of my housemates are celebrating their birthday this month, unfortunately in lockdown. So we're just going to have a household dinner for the two of them, and I just want to look nice and fresh then rather than today. Anyway, so it's still early afternoon. I'm filming this a bit earlier than usual as I'm about to go out with my housemate and buy some ingredients for tomorrow night's dinner, and I'm just not sure how long we're going to be, and I just sort of want to get this filmed just while I'm still looking okay. It's just looking like rain outside and I really don't want to come back and have to freshen up, to be honest. So I just thought I'd do this before we leave the house. Anyway, so today again has just been really relaxed and chilled. I haven't done a lot. I went for my usual walk this morning. I ended up having a bit of a, not a sleep in, but I ended up watching something before actually getting up and showering and doing all that jazz. So I ended up going for my walk sometime after 10. I remember getting back literally like 1 minute past 11, and it wasn't a super long walk this morning either, but I did eventually get up, shower, put on some walking clothes, went for a walk, came back. Then I literally just chilled out, and we had our first recording for our audiobook version of James and the Giant Peach. And it's a really long version, so we're filming 2 scenes at a time. So we film so we film scene 1 and scene 2. So it's great to have made a start on it and to have filmed the first 2 scenes. So that was really fun. There's only 4 characters in the first 2 scenes, including myself. And in this version, I'm playing the storyteller, so I will be in every scene. Excuse me, which is actually lots and lots of fun. But it was just a great feeling to get that ball rolling and to actually start filming. One of the cast members is actually in LA at the moment, so obviously, trying to juggle times that suit everybody with the time difference. I think where he is, he's about 7 hours behind us. So just trying to find that balance of an appropriate time for everybody. The rest of the cast is in London. But anyway, that's fine. It's easily sorted and quite easy to find a time that suits everybody. But anyway, whenever I go for my walks, I listen to podcasts. It's something I really discovered in lockdown 1, and it's something that I'm really enjoying. And there's a lot more sort of acting sort of orientated podcasts out there than I realized. Although before the first lockdown, I honestly hadn't really sat down and listened to any anyway. So I guess I can't really say. But to my knowledge, there wasn't many, and I'd say it's something that I wasn't interested in. But once I actually sat down and started doing it, I discovered it's something I am really interested in. I'm finding it lots of fun and learning a lot about the industry, about performers, and just sort of realizing that, yeah, they started off where I am at the beginning. They didn't start off as megastars, you could say. But anyway, so anyway, in between the podcasts, they have little ads, and I was listening to an episode of Off Menu with Ed Gamble and James Acaster this morning, and they played an ad for another podcast with David Morrissey, who I love. He's amazing. He was in The Walking Dead. He's an amazing English actor. He's fantastic. And his podcast is called, what is it called? Today I am with, no, Who Am I Today? Something like that. I'm sorry. And it's just really similar to, I think, David Tennant's podcast. David Tennant does a podcast with, and then the guest star's name, where he just basically sits down with someone in the industry and they just basically have like an hour-long chat. And I just love listening to David's accent, to be honest. So that's definitely a podcast that I'll get in probably from tomorrow onwards with my walks. So that's really exciting, something new and different to explore. And yeah, like honestly, there hasn't been much else going on today. Still feeling good. It was raining a bit this morning before I was getting ready, but I still went out and went for my walk. It wasn't raining by the time I left, which was great. But I mean, even if it was, I would have taken a brolly. Like, the rain doesn't stop me, to be honest. It is starting to get colder and it is getting darker. I feel even earlier than it has been the last few days. So I think winter's really sort of starting to hit now, which is fine. Like, I've experienced many of these. But yeah, still feeling good. It feels great to have completed our first 2 scenes of James and the Giant Peach, which is one of my childhood favorites, and it was actually one that I put forward to the director and said, is this something we could possibly record as an audio? And he's put so much work and effort into it. It's amazing. He is an amazing director, writer, caster, producer, like everything he does. Props, he's really amazing with props as well. So I can't wait for this to be done. We're hoping to get it done by Christmas, like just before Christmas, and then we can release it then, which will be fun. Little kitties to listen to over the Christmas period, the Christmas break. Yeah, like there's not much else to talk about. I'm just thinking what else I've got to do today. So there's a little bit of admin stuff that I need to get done. I need to chase up a couple of agents, so that's exciting. I think I'll sit down and watch The Man Who Knew Too Much, another Alfred Hitchcock film. That one stars James Stewart, who's actually in quite a few of Alfred's films. I also saw him in Rear Window, which is a really famous one, where he is basically bedridden from from an accident, and he witnesses his neighbor murder his wife. So he's basically in like a body cast from like his chest all the way down to his leg, bottom of his like his ankle. So he's basically like bedridden, or he's like basically stuck in a wheelchair all day, and he witnesses well, he starts to suspect that his neighbor along the way from him murdered his wife, and it's just a really well filmed film. It was filmed on a studio set, but it actually looks like the streets of, I think it was filmed in New York, so it's really fun. And that also starred Grace Kelly, who's just an absolute stunner. And I also saw him in another one called Rope, where these 2 young fellas murdered someone. I think they went to college with or university with by using this piece of rope. But prior to the dinner, they'd all arranged to have this dinner with some friends and family, including the mother of the boy that was murdered. James Stewart is in that one right till the end, so that's another really good one. And anyway, then he's in this other one with Doris Day, The Man Who Knew Too Much. So I think I'll sit down and watch that one later on, as it is quite an indoors film kind of day. And then I think I've got a few other bits and bobs to do, but not a great deal today, not as much as yesterday. I think I'm not feeling as focused as yesterday, actually, when I think about it. I don't know why. Maybe the weather's having an impact on that. Or maybe it's because I had a really slow start to the day. And yesterday I actually sat down and literally wrote on a piece of paper what I wanted to achieve and what order of importance they're in as well. And then I like to cross them off when they're done, and then that just gives me a real sense of achievement. Whereas today I haven't really done that, had a really slow start to the day. And I basically chilled out until we did our 2 recordings. Then that took probably around 2 hours. Then I've literally just had lunch, and then I thought I'd come and film this before we go and do the food shop for tomorrow night's dinner. But yeah, I think honestly today's going to end up being a chilled out afternoon and evening. So I know this is a really short one, guys, but I think I will leave it here. I will love you and leave you. So I hope you're having a great day wherever you are in this beautiful world, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.